Auburn, maybe. I think South Carolina is right where it should be because South Carolina, when they're winning, is probably going to be number two. When they're in the Steve Spurrier years, like they didn't lose a game. Connor
Mm-hmm.
Shaw went 4 years without losing a game at home. 4 fucking years. Like we didn't lose a game. So when we're good, we are. And that stadium, honey, you've been there. That stadium is fucking loud. And we
Mm-hmm.
and
I
we were there
mean,
during COVID. During
Yeah.
COVID.
even correct me if I'm wrong. Like, they're one of the largest stadiums in the SEC as well.
Yes, they are 81,800 or something.
I don't
Massive.
know, Kyle. Mm-mm.
I mean, the swamp, it's hard to argue against the swamp, Georgia, Alabama. Like, it's all interchangeable. I agree with Kyle there. Like the swamp is crazy. Like back when they
Mm-hmm.
had Tim Tebow, like do you remember
Oh,
those games? Like on the TV, you could hear the crowd. You could barely hear the
deafening.
announcers. Yes.
Deafening.
Like the swamp is a badass place to play, and it is the house that Steve Spurrier built. Like
Mm.
that's just a fact.
Okay, so let me explain to y'all why I made this.
Well, before you do that, we'll just go top three. Emily, who's your top three stadiums? Then James, I want your top five.
Boy.
Oh, you're going
Um,
number one, Alabama.
yeah. uh,
She's an Alabama fan, James. If you didn't know.
It's
Hey, it's all
later
good.
with
It's
her.
all good. My wife is an SEC fan, so there's that. Well,
Yep.
she's an SEC fan except for Auburn. I'll put it at that.
That's mean, Kyle.
so yes, I would go Alabama. Um, it'd probably be Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina is a crazy state. Like, not just because I'm a
Yeah.
Gamecock fan. My wife is not a Gamecock fan, but like that place is fucking nuts. And I want to
Okay.
go ahead and say, like, as shitty of a time we had in Kentucky, Kentucky Stadium is badass. No reason for it to be number 15. But go ahead, James.
So at number one, I'm gonna have to give it to LSU. Like, they don't call it Death
Agreed.
Valley for a reason, or they call it Death Valley for a reason.
Right.
Number two, I'm honestly gonna have to give it to Alabama.
I agree.
Number three, I mean, since Georgia's, what was it, 2021 win, or
Yeah.
since they
29.
started, yeah, just I'm gonna have to give number three to Georgia.
Yeah, you don't win at Georgia.
Yeah, no.
No.
Oh man, especially when you got some drunk, obnoxious Georgia fans, according to Pat McAfee.
I agree. I just said that. They are awful.
Oh man. Let's
Look,
see.
I said it so
Number
many times on my show throughout the year. My wife told me to stop mentioning it. That is a
Yes, I
true
did.
fucking story.
It got
You did.
old fast.
the coldest take Pat McAfee ever made. It was the SEC championship between Georgia and Alabama. That
When
man
it,
really sung the Georgia song, and he chose Alabama. And
Yes.
that
yeah.
ain't the coldest take I've ever seen on College Game Day.
Alabama showed why they deserve to be in the playoffs. And honestly, if Jim Harbaugh hadn't had the wonderful crew that he had, Michigan never even makes it to the championship game. But anyway, Kitty, go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and then we'll pull this.
so the
We'll
reason I made
do a
the
commercial,
reason I made
and we'll go.
the reason I made this, y'all, is because Tim Bailey really pissed me the fuck off.
Champ
Like
Bailey?
This is a tribute
Yeah.
to Tim Bailey.
Tim Bailey really pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, I
Becau-
thought he said Champ Bailey, like
No,
No, no,
resident
Tim.
Bailey.
Broncos cornerback. I was like,
No,
Champ
No,
Bailey?
no, Tim Bailey pissed me off, y'all. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
This yeah, I'm gonna go it. This motherfucker has the nerve to tell me that at Oklahoma's first true road game in the SEC next year,
Oh shit.
their first, better yet, their first road game of all fucking next year, their first road game of all next year is in Jordan Hare. And he's telling me that they're gonna come in there and walk the fucking dog in Jordan Hare. Let me explain to y'all something. All of y'all said Alabama whoops Auburn's ass this year. I said no. I said the fans make a difference. Every game that has been important, every
Alabama
game
needed a fucking miracle.
miracle. My point.
Yes.
My point. Georgia.
Hold on.
Georgia.
Stop.
Oh,
Stop.
hold on. No. Georgia.
We're calling it a
Ole
miracle.
Miss.
Tell me
Alabama.
what coach has a play for 4th and goal on the 31 and gets it successfully. Nick Saban is a fucking
Alabama
genius.
kept shooting themselves in the friggin' foot in the Iron Bowl, and then by some ungodly reason, Jalen Milroe sees, who was it? I believe Isaiah James Bond
Yes.
in the corner of the end zone.
Coaching and talent.
But God forbid Alabama runs a fucking quarterback sneak on 4th and goal in the Rose Bowl against Michigan, and Michigan gets the stop.
Exactly.
Michigan knew what play they were going to run. But go ahead, Kenny. Finish your thought.
Yeah, they probably stole that sign.
But
I guarantee it.
My thing is with this, and Kyle Gork, you're full of shit. Okay? Here's my thing. It's not easy to play. It's not easy to play in any SEC stadium. We are not called the best conference for no reason. Our record against y'all sorry ass or whatever conference that is up there now, I don't know what the fuck y'all gonna be named, is shitty compared to the SEC. So y'all talking about running your mouth about coming to play us, but then you shit a brick. Ohio State.
Michigan did just beat Alabama in the Rose
Okay,
Bowl. This
wow,
maybe
okay.
a good time
I
to
give
argue
Michigan that.
The Big Ten
I give them that,
over
but-
the SEC.
Yeah,
Every other
that's
team in the
it.
Big Ten lost to the SEC in the
every
college.
other one.
Yeah,
But
listen,
where it
no,
matters.
Here's where my problem is, Andrew. Ohio State. They run their fucking mouth the whole week before that game talking about Missouri is trash. Missouri's this, Missouri's that. But you can't even fucking get in the end zone.
I mean,
But
look,
what shit?
I mean, I really
Oh,
saw
you should have been on
this
Twitter.
matchup as like, oh, Missouri, they're actually having a good season for once. They're going up against Ohio State. Ohio State is going to blow their doors off after losing a critical game to Michigan. And then imagine the look on my face after seeing that Ohio State couldn't put up a fucking touchdown against Missouri.
They didn't put up a touchdown is why I laugh at them, because they're the
Exactly.
blue chip school and their backups should have been, because it's next man up.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a quick commercial, then we're going to come back with meme of the week, and then we'll do the segment of
1
we'll
minute,
see that
Andrew.
segment, and then we are going to go talk about the national championship game.
Kyle Gord, what the fuck
Kenny,
happened to you in
can't
your bowl
interrupt our
game this year?
bill.
I just want Kyle Gord to tell me what the fuck happened in his bowl game this year, since he wants to post that shit.
Kenny, like, you lost to Maryland by like 30. Not a good time to bring up bowl games. We're gonna pay
don't
some
give a
bills
fuck.
here.
I'm coming. Hold your horses.
What are they picking up?
Bills.
Another member of the mafia. Is this gonna be their year?
Could be. I'd rather not say.
Why?
It's not going to be an easy year for them.
No, it is not. They gotta go up against that pilot in New York.
Twice.
I mean, that whole division is tough.
Division? How about that whole conference? I mean, this guy definitely wants a shot. I love you.
She'll be with you in a minute. She needs a moment.
Leave me and Joe alone.
These guys, they want to make it a dynasty.
Like they aren't already a dynasty.
They aren't. You need at least 3.
Says who?
Says this guy. Those guys definitely have something to say about it.
Listen, I am not interested in those old heads. I like the up-and-coming squad. Can you imagine trying to cover this guy?
Actually, in high school, I was pretty quick.
Stop.
Ooh.
Those guys fly.
Same with these guys.
And this entire team flies.
They were so close, I bet.
Don't you say
I
it.
wasn't going to.
Uh-huh.
I bet they could do it.
They all could. That's why we love it.
Everyone's got a chance.
Everyone's got a chance to stick it to the doubters or start a new legacy. A chance to chase records and a chance to chase quarterbacks.
It's just good to have football back.
Especially him. Welcome back.
Thank you. Let's do it. Let's go.
Now.
It's gonna be a crazy season.
Was that the
We
commissioner or the head honcho of the like boss from Bad Boys 2?
Yes.
I thought so
I
too.
knew he looked
Yes,
familiar.
what? So we're gonna get into the meme of the week real quick. Absolutely fuck Clemson. So if you
I'm
have a
glad.
Clemson fan that's a coworker, please use our idea. We do not condone workplace violence at all here on College Sports Villains. So do this outside your workplace. Invite them over for ice cream. So what do you think? Is this good for your rival team, James? Is this good enough?
Yeah, I'd say it's good enough. I mean, overall, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I mean, they have a whole bunch of rivalries.
I should have won my pullover.
I mean, they got Purdue, USC. But I mean, even when it comes to Clemson, yeah, I'd say that's appropriate because I've seen Notre Dame go up against Clemson. And I think 2 out of the last 3-4 years I've seen Notre Dame play Clemson, Notre Dame has gotten the win.
They have.
Right.
So they would not have gotten the win during those 2016 and 2018 years. Those Clemson teams, as much as I fucking hate them so much, were just unbelievably talented.
They were.
I mean, they beat Alabama. That Alabama-Clemson rivalry, I wish we could have had a few more years of that because that shit was amazing.
Absolutely.
Back and forth.
Absolutely.
Clemson's favorite, Alabama wins huge. Alabama's favorite, Clemson blows them out of the water. Like, absolutely one of the greatest rivalries in college football history during that 4 or 5 year span.
Mhm.
As much as I hate to say it, because I cannot stand Clemson, it is just, man, that shit was fun to watch.
I mean, hell, give me the 2016 national championship any day
Right.
of the week. That was you talk
awesome.
about a shootout.
And, I hate to see Clemson or Georgia come out on top of anything, and Florida State. Fucking hate them. But Kenny is too busy looking for breaking news to comment on this. So what do you think, honey?
I think we should do it.
Yes, I agree. We know enough Clemson fans.
Mm-hmm.
I have a brother-in-law. I mean,
I'm sure there's
that's
plenty of Clemson fans in South Carolina too.
a lot of them orange bastards
That's just
around
too
here.
easy, though, Andrew.
What's that?
That's just too easy. See,
But
that's the
that's
difference.
that's
But
the
that's the
point.
difference in us and y'all. Us in Alabama, down here in Alabama, I'm just gonna be honest with you. We'll put X-Lax in your damn food. We don't give a shit.
Well, I mean, we're not hillbillies up in South Carolina. We don't
That
poison
ain't
trees
hillbilly.
over a
That's
football
making
game.
you go.
But
I'm just saying, put X-Lax in a brownie and give it to them.
I,
Then you ain't got to worry about them for a while. Let's just be honest.
I'm just saying, yeah, Kenny eats the soap and doesn't give a shit. Yeah,
I wouldn't give a shit.
chocolate, we're gonna keep eating it.
Damn right. Fuck it. Let's go.
But yeah, so
I'm that crazy motherfucker. Y'all should have learned that on the Halloween special when I smashed a pumpkin over my head.
A little pumpkin.
Just saying. Y'all should have learned that then.
I think we
Oh,
knew that
man.
way before. You honestly, you look like a crazy motherfucker. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
I mean, the last time I was on the show, the man was chugging a liter of Mountain Dew for crying out loud.
yes, he was. Mountain Dew.
I mean, y'all.
Easy or something in the bottle, but we won't go into that right now. Because I really do want to get into a couple more things in the national championship talk. And just so y'all know, James has his own podcast, No Mercy Sports. I will be on there tomorrow, guest starring. I can't wait. I was reading the agenda he sent me earlier, man. That is going to be a fun show. Like I really just wanted to steal it and be like, we're doing that here, but no, I wouldn't do that. Like you
I
guys
was gonna
should
say the link in the top right corner to share the show is right there. So feel free to share the episode and have any fans or viewers that you have want to come on and express their opinions about what is going to get talked about.
Well,
Let's go. And I'll be there.
streaming on Villains tomorrow too. He does it. If you could get it through your Facebook as well tomorrow, we can stream it live through Villains. If not, I'll have to share it too. But either way, you'll be able to see it on Villains tomorrow. Guarantee it. But the show is fun, y'all. I've been on it twice. My first time I went on, I think it was my first time I had my big Christmas tree hat.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yes, it was. You were at work, but man,
Yes.
man, oh, you were so decked out. It looked like you were from Whoville.
Yes, it did. So, fun fact: at work, they call me Mr. Christmas. Literally, a little kid came up there and was in one of the front end coach Angie's lines. She told me about this later. And the little boy said to his mom, "Mom, will we see Mr. Christmas today?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know, honey." And then apparently I come walking across the front end to go to the bathroom, and the little boy's like, "It's Mr. Christmas," like I was Santa Claus. like that's how much fun I have with it. Like y'all just don't know. Like I love some Christmas. But this one right here, I want to start with James right here. These are 5 teams that I love to hate. You know, of course, you could add Clemson and Georgia to this list mostly, but when I made this
Alabama.
meme, Arizona over here, these fucking asshole fans reported my page, fucking wrote bad reviews, and anyway, so
Okay.
I wouldn't put Alabama on teams I love to hate. Like this is my graphic. You know, Florida State deserves to be there. Clemson, Georgia, Michigan, Auburn. Never liked Auburn. The Ric Flair of college football, dirtiest player in the game, right? BYU, like for some reason, and this one wasn't even me. For some reason, BYU is just hated by everybody. I don't know what source being. You'll have to ask Kenny, but we'll get back to that because this is James' segment. James, which teams do you love to hate? You don't have to relegate this to college, but at least throw one in there for us.
I mean, for starters, it's easy to see why it's so easy to hate on Florida State for a reason. I mean, ever since the whole Jameis Winston allegations in 2013, 2014, I believe, like I've hated them for so long, and it's like you prey on their downfall, but at the same time, like as soon as something like the Orange Bowl came out, another team I'm going to have to go with is probably Alabama. They were dominant for so long. They were the team that you loved to hated, but you hated to love them, you know, because they were just so damn good and all the talent was going to them. Like, regardless of the conference that you were in, you had to be perfect going into a game against them. And it wasn't even close. Michigan? There's a lot of teams. You know what? I'm gonna say USC. They really haven't been the same ever since the Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart days, honestly.
No, since the Pete Carroll regime, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah, they really haven't been the same, but it's like, yeah, you had a Heisman Trophy winner quarterback. Y'all went 8-5. You lost to Tulane in the Cotton Bowl, I believe. And Tulane hasn't been ranked since probably the fucking 60s. I'm probably the 90s.
They went 13-0 in 1998 with Tommy Bowden as the head coach. So that's the last time Tulane was relevant. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to lose to Tulane and then come back the next year, go 8-5, and then lose again. I'm gonna just say I'm really surprised. Like as soon as you brought up the reason Arizona was on here, it was like it kind of made sense, but I really don't see it. I mostly see them as a basketball school.
They are.
Yeah.
But, fuck them for what they did. And it was literally, James, over a Scooby-Doo meme. Like, I will send you the meme after the
Oh,
after
please
the show.
do. Please
And
do.
it was just the
Oh my
zombie from
God.
Scooby-Doo, and it said something like Arizona fans when you mention football. Like, and then I had like 27 things pop on my page. You were reported, like, Lord, like, what's going on? And I'm like, it's a Scooby-Doo meme. Like, you should see what I do to other teams. Like, I guess my page should have been shut down if I'd have done that to y'all.
Oh
That's
my
why we're called
God.
villains.
That is exactly right. But Kenny, your teams that you love to hate. We already know Alabama, so you don't have to mention it.
No, I don't. There's no. You got it wrong there. There's no fucking love. It's just straight fucking hate. Let's just be honest there. There's no
The Iron
fucking
Bowl
love.
says it all.
There's no love there. I don't even know where you get that. But teams I do love to hate is Georgia. I love them, but I hate them. Be honest with you, and I'm an Auburn fan. The one team that I love. Okay, let me explain to you about this team before I say who it is. You might get it. I love their colors, but I absolutely fucking hate them. That's
What's that?
Oregon. That's Oregon. I
Hey,
love
look.
their uniform.
Look,
I love
motherfucker.
their uniform.
That is my Big Ten team right there. The
I love
Oregon
'em.
Ducks.
I love their uniforms,
Quack,
but I
quack.
fucking hate them.
Yeah.
I fucking
Why
hate
would
them.
you hate Oregon though? Like, what has Oregon ever done to deserve hate? Like,
They come and
Probably
took
because
Bo
the
Nix.
Bo
on
Nike
to Emily, I
facility
want
is
some
out there, and they
context
get
here.
so much hookups.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hate them. I've hated them since the national championship when they keep.
Well, I get it, I guess, but like I don't know. I guess I ain't never really like.
I really
Oregon's
hate
never
Florida
deserved
State.
hate. Yeah, me too. Fuck Florida State.
Mm.
So I'm gonna let Emily here tell you her 3 most hated teams, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop number 1 for her, and that's Kentucky. And I promise you I'm right. She hates
Yep.
Kentucky with a passion.
Yep.
But we were there. Long story, we've told y'all before. But who's your other 2 most hated teams?
Well, definitely Clemson.
Yes, fuck them.
And I guess my other one would be Georgia.
Wow, that shocked me. That was not
Fuck
who I thought
Georgia.
at third.
Yeah, fuck Georgia tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
So before
Right.
we yes, absolutely. I knew Kentucky would be number 1 though, because we were there at Kentucky, and those people, and we had our 1-year-old with us, James. I don't know if I've told you the story. And these people were screaming and cussing and were like, fuck y'all drove all the way back here. I hope you fucking die. Like, that's how their fans were.
Ooh.
So
I wish I had a taser that day.
right.
You wish you had a
Kentucky
what?
fan, a taser. Kentucky fans
That's
are
how you
shitty.
do it.
Like the worst shitty fans, like not as shitty as Georgia, but there was this one guy, like when we were trying to leave, like he fucking pushed through the crowd and was like, move motherfuckers, because we had a baby with us. And like, so that one Kentucky fan's all right with me. But
I mean,
yeah.
the only
Well, that's
reason I
football.
think Kentucky football fans are the way that they are is because they ride the coattails of Kentucky's basketball success.
That's correct.
Big basketball success.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, John Calipari, what are you gonna do? What are
Right.
you gonna do? Arguably one of the best head coaches in college basketball.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah, not even close. Bill Self is number 1 in my opinion, but Calipari's number 2.
I mean,
Kansas is just
I'll
a
say
wrecking
Coach
machine.
K is number 1 in my opinion.
What are we talking recent? Like, are we talking now, or are we talking of all time?
I mean, over the years, I'll say Bobby Knight easily number 1.
I
Coach
got
K
Coach-
could be
I got
number
Coach K
2 in
number
my
1.
opinion.
Who? Andrew?
Coach K is number 1 overall. If we're talking all time, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
If
agree
we're
with
talking
that.
right now, Bill Self at Kansas, and it's not even close.
Ooh, yeah, because they are the defending champs, I believe, this year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he's already won 2.
Mm.
So I mean, that's for me. And I want to talk a little basketball. Then I want to and I want to talk a little pro football for a minute. Then we'll go into the national championship game. So
Can we talk a little basketball too?
So he's just not listening at all. If y'all can't tell, literally just said we're going to talk a little basketball, and then we're going to go.
I thought you said NFL.
After, yeah. So start with college basketball, real quick. Gamecock women are going to win it all. We're literally just out there busting people's fucking ass, scoring 100 points a fucking game. Never been done in the women's game before. It's over with. We started SEC play today, and we decimated a ranked Florida team. LSU ain't got shit on us. I want all the smoke. Now, our men's basketball team, 12-1, like unreal, because they have total, and they're 12-1 this year going into SEC play. They got Mississippi State Saturday, and if they beat Mississippi State, they got a real shot of doing something.
Okay.
But I don't see it. We generally, when we were under, we were playing teams out of conference like Kansas and Duke and North Carolina. Like, for some fucking reason, we thought that was a good idea. And this year we chose McNeese State and Davidson and whatever, right? And so we're able to go 12-1. So I'm not going to get too high on us yet because because schedule matters. It's just schedule.
So
matters.
Andrew, I have to argue with you here.
Hold on a second. But if we beat Mississippi State on Saturday, that turns us around. However, being the realist that I am, watching the games, I say 17-12 is the ceiling and the NIT for South Carolina. But go ahead, Kenny.
I have to argue with you, buddy. And I've said this for a while to you, and you're saying that I'm not right. Well, I told you that I had South Carolina winning how many games this year?
I don't remember.
20 plus, 20 or above. That's what I said. You told me you didn't see it. You would see a 15 to 17 range. Y'all are only 5 games away from your top.
And
I'm just going to
conference play.
Okay. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. You should beat Mississippi State at home. You should beat Alabama. Alabama's done turned into trash in basketball.
Which team? Which Alabama
You should
team
beat Missouri. Hold on.
Yeah,
you should beat Missouri. Georgia's going to be a toss-up, so we'll just throw that in there because they're playing decent basketball.
I mean, Alabama has been on the come-up for basketball for quite a while.
Yeah, but they're without
beating Alabama.
Listen, they're without 3 of their starters. Let's just be honest. They're out for the year. Alabama's 8-5. Alabama is not the same team they were last year. Let's just be honest. I'm speaking facts. Y'all should beat Alabama. Y'all should beat Mississippi State. You should beat Missouri. I'm gonna say Georgia's a toss-up. That's 3.
We'll beat Georgia.
Arkansas is a toss-up. Kentucky, you're gonna lose to.
Yes.
You should beat Missouri. You're gonna lose to Tennessee. That's 4 wins right there. That's 4.
We'll split with Missouri at best. We won't beat Missouri at Missouri, but go ahead.
Okay, that's 4 wins. Auburn, South Carolina in Auburn's going to be a good one. Not going to give it a win or a loss. You'll beat Georgia. You'll beat Georgia one of them times. That gives you 5 wins. You'll beat the shit out of Vanderbilt. That's 6. You should beat LSU twice. That's 7. You should beat A&M. That's 8. That puts you at 20. And we're not even made it to March. I'm just saying, Andrew, you got to have some confidence. The SEC, to be honest,
it's only about confidence. I mean, it's reality. How did Florida State do against Georgia? Anyway, this is my man JD here. He's in Japan. He's in the United States Army. He's been on the show several times. That's right. JD, this is James. He is also in the military. We appreciate you guys. JD, when you're ready to come back on this show, man, we are ready to have you. I hope you're having a blast in Japan.
Oh my God! How can you not? I was in the Navy and I had a blast in Japan.
Right, and so it's a good time. I've known JD since we were like 4. Like, it's been a long time. We grew up on the same street together.
Wow.
And Kyle, same way. He loves all those who served and have, and he means that. I've known Kyle for about a year, roughly going on a year now, and 100%. So that's where we're at in the world of college basketball. We're not going to go into all the teams today. We actually start heavily on basketball when the national championship game's over, and we'll really get into it. But I want to talk a little pro basketball. the Hawks, like we can beat anybody and except teams that we should beat. Like it's the damnedest fucking thing. We have Trey fucking Young and we're not winning games. It's pissing
Even
me off.
DeJounte Murray, for crying out loud.
DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella, Trey Young. Like, how are we not winning games? Like what is going on in the world of NBA? We should be a top tier team. We are less than 3 years removed from almost winning the East Coast Finals. If Trey Young hadn't went down in Game 5, and here we are, and we're fluttering 500. It don't make no sense. It just doesn't.
I honestly think it has to do with the injury thing and probably a head coach thing. I mean, for crying out loud, the Lakers are, or should I say, the Fakers are 3-9 since the in-season tournament.
Well, they were happy about that.
God forbid anybody took that goddamn thing seriously.
Because they know they're not going to win the NBA championship.
So let me tell you, I got conflicting things in the in-season tournament, and I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I love the tournament idea.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, they did it all fucking wrong. What they should do is they should take the tournament with all the teams that didn't make the playoffs for the final playoff spot. Do an NCAA tournament style seeds and did one game at a time. And the winner who wins that mini tournament gets the 8 seed, gets to go to the playoffs. So that way, that's why college basketball March Madness is so goddamn fun. Even if you have a shitty fucking year, you have one good run in your conference tournament, you're in. Imagine a Detroit Pistons losing 30 straight games, winning that fucking tournament after this, and go to the playoffs and be like, yes, that would be awesome. And that's what they should have done with the in-season tournament. Like, they
imagine an NBA team equivalent to Fairleigh Dickinson that beat Purdue in the tournament, and their fucking college basketball court is a NC or YMCA recreational gym, for crying out loud.
Exactly. What if Detroit sneaks into the playoffs and knocks off the Milwaukee Bucks?
Here's one for you.
That's basically the equivalency.
They messed up. They had a chance to make the in-season tournament so much fun, and they could have made it mean something.
Hey, there is a reason that the NFL had more viewership on Christmas Day than the NBA did.
That's correct.
Yeah, well, I mean, NFL is more fun than NBA, but you only get so many games a year, though. That's why it didn't work for the NBA there, because you get a bunch of NBA games, which we love, don't stop, but you only get 16 NFL games. Yes. 17 games, and if your team don't go to the playoffs, that's all you got. And so they weren't going to win that, but they're not making it fun. The NBA is not fun right now, and they've got to figure that out. The in-season
it ain't been fun since 2020 because players decided, hey, you know what? We're going to take the route that Colin Kaepernick took because we want to stay relevant. We're going to take a knee during the national anthem and try to fight something that's been going on since the civil rights movement.
Correct.
And you
Andrew, what's my basketball team?
Back from that. Your NBA team?
Yeah, we've talked about this before. It throw everyone. I know it's gonna throw James for a loop because he'll never expect me to be this fan. Being from the South. Who?
The Celtics?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm a Boston Celtics fan. Been my whole life. I've been a Kansas City Chiefs my whole life. Don't know why. Everybody thinks I'm crazy.
I mean,
I don't know.
When you're looking at the Boston Celtics, especially their rivalry with the Lakers in the 80s, the Celtics, they were essentially that blue collar team that worked for everything that they had. So I can understand that.
Yeah,
it's just like I was a Chiefs fan when the Chiefs were shit. Let's just be honest. Now everybody I give everybody hell because quotably we got the next greatest quarterback. It's odd as hell.
Now, next greatest quarterback I will give you, but the receivers need to do something because they can't catch COVID if it fell into their lap.
They suck. All receivers suck this year.
They suck.
Y'all want to know some facts
Even
about
Taylor
the Chiefs?
Swift sucked the talent out of Travis Kelce.
Literally.
This is the first year that Patrick Mahomes will have to play a road game in the playoffs.
So how do you know when somebody's really not loyal? One, if you're over 30 and you're a Charlotte Panthers fan, you're not loyal because they were new to you. Two, if you don't pull for your regional teams, you are not a loyal person. So I'm a Hawks fan, a Falcons fan, a Braves fan. Now I am a Blackhawks fan in hockey because there was no Atlanta hockey team when I was growing up. And the colors
they had
red
the
and black.
Thrashers for a while.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Andrew.
no, so the Thrashers came out when I was really James. I'm really old, dude. Like the
Okay.
Thrashers came out when I was in my 20s. Like that's how long ago that was. We
Fair
didn't
enough,
have the
fair
Atlanta
enough.
Flames, but I think the Atlanta Flames left in '84, and I was 3. So there was no Atlanta hockey team. And I bleed like I love red and black, garnet and black, Hawks, Gamecocks. So I was like the Blackhawks. Honestly, I was playing Blades of Steel on Nintendo, which was the very first hockey game ever, right? And they were red and black, and I loved them, and that's how I chose my hockey team.
Hey,
But
the
go ahead.
future is bright for Chicago with Connor Bedard. I'll tell
Are
you
you
what.
kidding me? Did you see that? Did you see the Michigan? Did you see him hit the Michigan? Bam! Oh man, boy, that shit was sweet. Even the great one said he couldn't do that. But
We're not
going
going to bring up Michigan because Patrick Kane, arguably one of the greatest Chicago Blackhawks of the modern day, is a goddamn traitor for going to Detroit.
You don't leave the Blackhawks to go to the fucking. Anyway, go ahead, Giddy. Like that shit pissed me.
So
off.
let me explain to Kyle why I'm the fans of the fans that I am. I'm a Braves fan, always have been my whole life. 1, 2. The only reason I would become a Celtics fan is because of my fucking brother. He was a Lakers fan. That's it. Been a Celtics fan ever since then. I'm a Chiefs fan because he's a fucking Bills fan. That's it. And that's how it was growing up. I've been that ever since. The Celtics are not fucking trash. Y'all just fucking hate them.
Kyle, have you seen the standings lately?
I want to say something here. So Kenny said he was a Chiefs fan because his brother was a Bills fan. Well, the Bills and Chiefs were not rivalries.
It doesn't matter. It just ended up in my household like that. So, I hate my brother because he's a fucking Bills fan.
Hold on. I am old, and when I was growing up, it was the Chiefs and the Broncos, and that was the rivalry. Christian Okoye and Steve Atwater, the stop on 4th and goal at the 1. John Elway versus Joe Montana, round 2 when he went to the Chiefs. The Broncos and Chiefs was the fun-ass rivalry.
I mean,
based on that logic, you should be a Broncos fan, Kenny.
I mean, for me, I witnessed Trent Green, Priest Holmes, Dante Hall, Jamal Charles. The list goes on for Kansas City. They had a good team. They just couldn't put anything together.
Yeah, they just couldn't win it. Then they got crazy. But y'all want to hear something funny? I'll tell you who wins the Super Bowl this year. I'm fixing to get some shit for this one.
Baltimore?
No, sir.
San Francisco. He's going to say, I know he's going to say because he's a conspiracy theorist, but the 49ers are going to win it all.
No, they're not. Look, y'all, if they win the Super Bowl, I want everybody to come back.
Boston. They took Dominique Wilkins. They can kiss my ass. Go ahead, Kenny.
If the team I say wins the Super Bowl, I want everybody to come back to this podcast and remember that I said this. And I'm not a fan of them. Let me clear this riff.
Continue on with your conspiracy theory.
With this being said, me and Andrews had this conversation. I'm not a conspiracy person, but I have been following this dude, and his shit his logic makes fucking sense to me. I know that's fucking crazy. You go back to the past 10 You go back to the fucking past 10 Super Bowls and look at the logos. Look at the colors. Last year's colors was what? Philadelphia green, Kansas City red.
Who wins the Super Bowl, Kenny?
The Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year, and all of y'all can kiss my ass.
The Dallas Cowboys.
What? Y'all what?
So when I think of elite quarterbacks leading their team to the Super Bowl,
I'm telling y'all, if you look at the Super Bowl colors this year, it's red, white, and blue.
Not only are you high, you are downright stupid.
James, if Cowboys win the Super Bowl, you come back on this villains and you say, Kenny, you was right. Deal?
I don't think you're gonna have to worry about
Not
that.
only
The Super Bowl is gonna be San Francisco and Baltimore.
Because the Cowboys haven't
can't
seen
count out
anything
Kansas
past
City.
the divisional round. The fucking 49ers own their dumbasses. It's
They
been the
do.
Cowboys' year for the last 28 years, and they still have nothing to show for it.
If they win the Super Bowl, do you come back on the show and admit that I was right?
Keyword if. They won't.
I'm just picking them to win it, but I'm going by the Super Bowl logo.
You're
49ers and Ravens.
You
That's
can't
my
count out
pick for
Kansas
the
City.
Super Bowl.
You can't count out Kansas City.
It's not
Andrew.
about counting out. This is called a prediction. My
I got
prediction is San Francisco and Baltimore.
I got Dallas and Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
It ain't gonna be Dallas, I'll tell you that.
It ain't.
Who are you predicting?
I mean, basically what you said, based off the colors, Baltimore and San Francisco.
That's who I meant. Those are the best two teams in football. And I'm telling you, that's
Best
gonna
two
be a hell of
teams
a
don't
Super
always
Bowl.
get in.
Doesn't matter. Once again, it's called a prediction. And I will tell you, a Super Bowl between this year's 49ers and this year's fucking Ravens is going to be amazing. Like, that's going to be one of the more entertaining Super Bowls we've had in a long fucking time. And I really hope we get to see it. Like, I really, really do.
We'll see.
Easy shootout, man. But you know, the Cowboys, that's so funny. They're a joke.
They really
They're just I know who isn't going. That's the Falcons.
All the Panthers.
Fire Arthur Smith, for crying
Thank
out
you.
loud.
Thank
How
you.
is he still there? I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Your
Bring in
guess
a
is as good as mine.
fucking man, you can bring in Butch Jones. I mean, for much cheaper than that to fucking produce these fucking
Kyle Pitts needs
results.
to go get the hell up out of fucking Atlanta. His talent is being wasted so badly there.
How did we lose to the Charlotte Panther? Anyway, like I ain't even got it in me to talk about that this year. Honey, do you think it's gonna be San Francisco and Baltimore, or you think Kansas City's gonna sneak in there? Because Dallas ain't.
No, Dallas ain't. That's for sure.
Definitely.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
How about
we
this?
will see in the divisional round.
Cowboys make the Super Bowl. I'm coming on No Mercy Sport, and we're gonna talk about it, buddy. Deal?
Oh yeah, oh please, by all means, if keyword if.
Y'all hear it here first. He said it. I'll
Oh,
be on
my
No
God.
Mercy Sports.
You know, if we see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, I'll be looking for the rapture. I'll be waiting for my Lord and Savior to walk out of the clouds and be like, "It's time to come home. We've lived long enough."
Yep.
That's the way I see it right now.
Yeah, that's basically the end of the world prediction right there.
It is. It's time to go. But I really want to talk more about these, especially the Michigan that my boy hit. But anyway, national championship game. I'm going to start with you, Kenny. You go ahead and tell me. I want your analysis, who you think's going to win, and because it's just fun.
Okay. So I know everybody knows that I pulled for Michigan Monday night. That's not a secret. That's everybody knew I wasn't pulling for fucking the stepsisters of the North. I never will. Never. I don't give a damn if they're playing Afghanistan. I'm not pulling for them. Fuck them. Pulling for Afghanistan. Fuck Alabama. I hate Alabama. It's been plain and clear. Now, with that being said, I would like Michigan to win it.
That's because they own you
But-
and rents do. But go ahead.
But I would like Michigan to win it. But I feel like Washington wins the national championship, and I'm gonna tell you why. Last year of that conference, and number two, Penix is playing with a chip on his shoulder. He threw for almost 500 yards against Texas, and I feel like he's going to do the same against Michigan. I feel like Washington wins it.
So I agree with you that Penix is the man. Should have won the Heisman. Straight, he was robbed. But with that being said, because this is the last year that they're a conference, that really makes no sense to me, Kenny. But your prediction is Michigan or Washington, and JQ is here. Fuck the
Washington.
BT. JQ is one of our most faithful viewers, and I'm so glad he's here. You got Washington?
I won't. Yes, I want Washington to win it.
Not want. Who do you think is going to win it?
Washington.
Washington. All right.
Yep.
Emily, Washington,
Mhm.
Michigan. Who do you think wins this game?
I think Michigan's going to win it because they already know what's going on.
They already have the signs. So she predicts Michigan. Now, James, national championship game. I know you said you wanted to take a big bite into this one. So what you got?
I mean, Michigan on their best day beat Alabama on their worst day in the Rose Bowl. There's no doubt about that. I mean, Alabama had arguably one of the most roller coaster seasons that I've ever seen in my entire life. And even with Michigan and their controversy, they still managed to go undefeated and find their way into the national championship. Good on them.
Playing a real schedule.
Yeah. But I had my eye on
Happy
Washington
birthday
this
to your
year.
brother.
I had my eye on Washington this year, and man, oh man, was MPJ slinging darts all freaking year. If
Yeah,
there is a team in the NFL that needs a quarterback, they would be stupid to pass up on Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, we need him down in Atlanta. So
I mean, hell, maybe he goes to New England. That's a shout out to my wife. She's a New England Patriots fan. The Chicago Bears are already set at quarterback with Justin Fields. I'm just saying.
They are.
We're going to discuss that more tomorrow. But,
yes, we are.
But the run that Washington is on, I mean, for Michael Penix Jr. to have almost 450 yards in the Sugar Bowl against Texas of all teams, I think they're on that wave of momentum that the New York Giants were on in their 2 Super Bowl runs with Eli Manning. They're playing with, like, they got nothing to lose. They're on again, like I said, a serious wave of momentum that just cannot be stopped. And I mean, if anything, it's, in my opinion, this is going to turn out like the Rose Bowl, but I think Washington comes out on top.
So Washington comes out on top. Kenny Dillon says you don't know football.
I work with Dylan's crazy butt. He's just an Alabama fan. And what you do is you ask him who told him. You ask him what I told him before the Alabama-Michigan game. That's why for 5 weeks at work, every time I walk by him, he has to say War Eagle.
So
I told him Michigan was going to win.
That was good. So I'm gonna do my national championship, and then we're gonna discuss a few more things. Unless y'all
I want
have
to
to
hear
go.
who Emily has.
She chose Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You got Michigan?
Yeah, another place.
Do y'all notice how many times Kenny just not pays attention to what we're saying?
He's going in and out just like his background is.
Hey, Dylan, guess what? Michigan did cheat, but they're still in the national championship, all right?
They did cheat.
You can call them the 07 Patriots for all I care.
Well, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Isn't that the old saying?
I mean, that's the Eddie Guerrero saying right there.
You lie, you
Yes.
cheat, you steal.
That's right. So, national championship game. We've come to the end of it here. Michigan versus Washington. I got to tell you, I'm excited to see a matchup like this because it's not one that we see very often. The Pac-12 is never there. This will be their only time, and it's ending for them, so it's the only time we'll ever see them. And Big Ten generally doesn't make it to the championship game during the playoffs. So this is a very interesting one. I'd love to see somebody different in it. I think Michael Penix Jr. will become a problem for Michigan early. However, DeBoer, fantastic coach. He's not the coach Jim Harbaugh is. Plus, with the advantages Jim Harbaugh may or may not have, we don't know. That tips the scale heavily in favor of Michigan. Even if you take that out, Jim Harbaugh is a better coach. And I think Michigan has been recruiting longer for this. Washington used the portal, and we've seen that with Georgia and Florida State, where Florida State hired a bunch of mercenaries to come play for them, and they got destroyed by Georgia. And I think you're going to see the same thing with Michigan and Washington. It was Washington beat Texas because Steve Sarkisian's just a shitty coach, and that's just the way it goes down, and I fully stand on that. But Jim Harbaugh is a better coach. Michigan is a better team, top to bottom. Michigan is the definition of next man up mentality. Somebody goes down, the next one comes up and win. Michigan is going to put the clamp down on Michael Penix Jr. by putting the clamp on the receivers. While Penix can run, he generally does not try to run because in the NFL that does not work well. And he's all about developing his game. So even if he does, it's not like Michigan linebackers aren't running 4.240s as well. They will put a spy on him and probably drop 6. They're going to have too much coverage. Their DBs are better than Washington's wide receivers. I got Michigan winning this game 42-17. Now, like I said, even take the cheating out of it, Jim Harbaugh is a fantastic coach. Michigan's a better team, top to bottom, the top 5 recruiting class every year, just like Georgia. They're all their starters can go down, their backups come in, and they're still beating most of the teams out there in college football. They exposed Washington in this national championship game, and you can say whatever you want.
No, I want to ask you a question. James, please don't say nothing. I know Emily knows the answer to this. I'm pretty sure James does. Andrew.
I didn't say Texas underachieved. I just want to point that out, JQ.
He never said that, JQ. I don't know where you got that. Andrew, how many CFP wins does Michigan have?
None. Well, they have 1 now. You talking about playoffs and all?
Yes. How many?
Okay.
How many? 1, right?
I mean, last year they had
You just said that.
easy shootout against TCU.
Still don't matter. They've only won 1 game.
Okay. How many has Washington won? What's your point?
Washington's been once, won once. Michigan's been 4, won once.
That kind of supports my Jim Harbaugh is a better coach than DeBoer.
He might be a better coach, but like I've said a long time, not always does the better team win.
Yeah, but both national championship wins for both Washington and Michigan were in the 90s.
Yeah, that is true.
91 and 98. Even though that Nebraska team would have waxed Michigan and they would not have had a national championship that year, they had to split it with Nebraska, and Nebraska would have beat the hell out of them because Nebraska in the 90s did not play. So
I wish
Michigan
we could get the 90s Nebraska back.
Oh man, yeah, I love me some Nebraska. I ain't gonna lie. I like to see Nebraska do good. I really, really do. I don't know why. I really do.
I mean, I got a buddy who's a Nebraska fan, and I mean, like, to see Nebraska be doing so poorly for so long, for the last, 20 years?
It's been long.
Since, Tim Couch, I want to say, their quarterback was the last time they were actually doing good. It's such a heartbreak for the Cornhuskers, man. It really is.
Well, Tim Couch was a quarterback at Kentucky. You're thinking of Eric Crouch. He's the one that won the national championship. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I love me some Eric Crouch. Because, I fell in love with Nebraska in the early 90s when Tommy Frazier was their quarterback. Like, he is my favorite player outside of a Gamecock of all time. Tommy Frazier was robbed of a Heisman. Robbed. Won back-to-back national championships, so he's a team player, so I'm sure he'll take that, but he was robbed. And then I just kind of liked them. I just kind of liked them ever since, But yeah, you make a good point. They've been real shitty. They won 10 games and fired Bo Pelini for winning 10 games, and they said that wasn't good enough, and they just went shit downhill after that. And that's what they get. Because if you're a program winning 10 games and then you're firing your coach who has been there 5 years and consistently winning double digits, going to big bowls, well, then you get what you deserve. Like, what did you think the next person coming in was going to be like, if I don't win if I don't win at least 11 games, I'm going to get fired. Like, who the fuck wants that job? Like, they don't think about that. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go like somebody gets fired from a job because like they couldn't meet the minimum because they couldn't meet the maximum standards. And then like, hey, you can do that. Well, no, fuck you. I'm good. That don't make no sense.
Not to mention in the late 90s, 2000 and 2001, Miami was running the NCAA.
2001 Miami. What a badass team.
Easily the greatest college football team of all time, and it's not even close, in my opinion.
95 Nebraska is easily the greatest football team of all time. But that's where we're gonna have to differentiate. I do got 01 Miami in my top 3.
Mhm.
What a fantastic team. But 95 Nebraska could have beat anybody because they
Okay.
had the greatest offensive and defensive line of all time. And
Mm.
what was so weird about Nebraska defense, didn't matter if you threw it, didn't matter if you ran it, didn't matter if you had triple option, didn't matter if you fucking threw it with the tight end.
Hmm.
Like they were so talented.
Hmm.
Like they could get to the ball so quick. And I know this is a little before your time because it's not 95. You know, I get it. But I watched a lot.
Hell, I was still having nightmares watching a horror movie commercial.
Right.
That's
But like they were so good.
Mhm.
Nebraska was scary good, and I love me some Tommy Frazier. But Miami's a great team.
Yep.
So I just want to ask this real quick before we move on to the next subject, because I'm not trying to take all your time, but I'm having a good time here. So do you put Jordan Hare Stadium in the top 10 stadiums in the SEC? I think what you have him at, Kenny? 6? 5? He had him at 5.
Hold on, I'll look. 5.
Had him at 5. Well, we'll put the graphic back up.
Yeah, please, by all means. Jordan Hare State. Yeah, honestly, I consider Auburn in the top 5. I mean, LSU, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Auburn. Yeah, it's the SEC easily runs the top 5 in college football stadium.
I'm putting, and this is really gonna piss Kenny off, and I promise you, Tim Bailey and I did not discuss this before the show. I haven't spoken to Tim in a while, and he's right about this. You went to Nebraska or Wisconsin. Those Wisconsin teams back in the day with Ryan Dane. But anyway, Oklahoma, I would say is a harder place to win than Auburn. And I'm sure we can find lots of wins and loss stats to support that. So I'll put Oklahoma above Auburn. I'll put LSU above Auburn. I put Tennessee above Auburn. I put Florida
Andrew,
above Auburn. Hold on, I put Georgia above Auburn. I put Alabama above Auburn and Texas A&M.
I mean, I was even gonna say, like, I'll even put Oklahoma and South Carolina easily outside the top 5 and in the top 10.
Right.
I mean, so let me ask you this, Andrew. Let me ask you this. Oklahoma and Texas come to the SEC next year, right?
I have been to Mississippi State.
No.
Underrated.
Let me get the date. Let me get the date right for you. Give me just a second.
Gambling down there. Anyway.
No, I'm not gambling. We're fisting. I want you to answer me a
Mississippi
question.
State.
Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead. Let me go on to November. November 16th, 2024. You mean to tell me that the Alabama Crimson Tide is going to go to whatever Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium
Gaylord
and think that shit is going to be tough to them when they've played in Death Valley, they played behind the hedges, they played in Jordan Hare?
Wait a
really
minute.
think no?
You're not even
Alabama
making a
is going
real
to
point.
beat. Alabama is going to beat the shit out of them in
You're
their
not
house.
making a real point. We said that playing in Oklahoma is hard. You said Alabama's going to go in there and not be intimidated. That's not the same fucking thing. Alabama's not going anywhere and being intimidated. Alabama's not going into fucking
Auburn will go in there in
Patriot
3
Stadium
years.
and being intimidated. That don't make
3
no
years,
sense.
Auburn will go in there and beat their ass. I said
So-
it. 3 years, Auburn goes in there and beats their ass.
I'm
nothing
just
intimidating about that
confused.
fucking stadium. There's nothing intimidating. Nothing. There's nothing.
It's not about intimidation. Like
They're not
you're
loud.
not making
They're
the
soft
same
as
point.
fuck. They're soft. They're not loud. When you watch them on TV, you
They're
barely hear the
not
goddamn
loud
fans.
in Oklahoma.
You barely hear them
Wow.
on TV. If you watch an Auburn game, an Alabama game, an LSU game, a Texas game, a Florida game, a South Carolina game,
I guarantee
hear
you,
the fans on
Oklahoma is
TV.
louder than Texas.
Hey,
I don't
you
know
know
about
what?
that,
Hold
buddy.
on. This is
The
what we're gonna do.
Washington fans were louder than fucking Texas.
I'm gonna ask right now, and then I'm gonna put a poll up on villains. Everybody out there right now, we'll use this panel. Where do you think your team has the most likely spot to get a win? Against Oklahoma at Oklahoma or against Auburn at Auburn? I'll start as a Gamecock fan. We have a better chance of walking into Auburn and winning than we do Oklahoma. Emily, what do you think? No, I said earlier in the broadcast when we brought up the first time GQ that Williams Bryce was perfect right at 9. So I have the receipts on the show.
I mean, New Mexico State had no problem getting a win against Auburn this past year.
So what do you think,
I
Emily?
never even heard of New Mexico State until this year.
That's right.
They're an hour away from where I am in New Mexico here in El Paso. Let me talk to you.
James, you want to talk about that? Well, let's talk about, was it L.A. Monroe going into Alabama and beating Alabama?
Stop hijacking my show. Emily,
I'm just asking.
Do you think Alabama has an easier time going into Jordan Hare and winning, or easier going into Oklahoma?
Like, I'm confused because I would say it would be the same either way.
That's right, because you're Alabama. So she's just giving a shout out to her team. Ain't fucking scared of nobody. All right. What do you think, James? So you're a Notre Dame fan, right?
Yeah.
I ain't scared of Oklahoma. That's right. As a Notre Dame fan, do you feel more confident?
Notice he said he don't fucks with Auburn.
Kenny, hold on. And we're gonna go back to that. Yeah, JQ hates Auburn with a passion. But Kenny's right. But like, you think Notre Dame has a better shot of walking into Auburn and getting a win, or walking into Oklahoma getting a win?
Oh, I mean, it's really tough to call because, I mean, Auburn, they're allowed for a reason, and on top of that, it's the SEC. But got to give credit to where credit is due to Oklahoma, because granted, they're in the Big 12, but they're loud for a reason as well. In my opinion, it's a 50-50. I'm not trying to be biased towards Auburn. It really is a 50-50 because both stadiums are loud when it comes to college game day.
So they're both loud, right? So let's give them that. So now we give them an equal playing field on like how hard it is to play in their stadium. Now the team itself, who do you feel better going in and beating?
Auburn.
Yeah, yes, that's what I thought. So me too. So I want to bring this comment up, and I'm not going to keep it up long because it's covering your face there. I'm ready to see Auburn win this national championship. So you were not here yet, James. So Kenny came on this show. And
let me say what I got to say.
He said that he will bet anybody anything they want that Auburn wins the national championship next year.
And let me explain to you why. Andrew, hush for a minute. I want you to answer one question, James. And I want you to be honest.
This take better be good than your bullshit Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl.
Listen. Proven facts. I'm going to give you facts before I ask the question. No other team in college football has done what Hugh Freeze did this year in recruiting. He is fishing to pull off the greatest wide receiving core ever out of a recruiting class out of high school. Not only that,
with Peyton Thorne throwing them the ball. Right,
no, sir. Liberty, Auburn just got their quarterback. The kid come from Tennessee, followed Hugh Freeze to Liberty, has now entered the transfer portal, and it will be in Auburn Saturday. He has followed Hugh Freeze. He wants to play in Hugh Freeze's offense. Look what he did at Liberty.
What's his
Case
name?
closed. All Auburn needs next year to throw to Ryan Williams. Our running back room is going to be great. We're fixing to get Judkins with Hunter, Sean Jackson. I mean, come on. Let's be honest, y'all. Here's my quiz where I'm going with this. You have Fairweather, Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Ryan Williams, Judkins, Hunter, the boy from Liberty, all on the field.
Kenny
with an offensive line.
Name,
you tell me what? No.
Championship.
Listen,
bro, the car would have paid for itself by now. By the time you get to your point,
here's my point right now. You tell me what defense in the nation can stop Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Ryan Williams.
Okay, I'm going to interject, and I'm going to tell
Fairweather.
I'm going to tell you who's going to stop
tell me.
them.
There's not one.
Every single defense, because either you got Peyton Thorne or the guy you don't even know his name throwing the ball to these people. Might as well be me.
Hank Brown might be doing it. Hank Brown might be doing it, and he looks damn good in the bowl game.
Is entering the transfer portal.
No one's scared to go to Arkansas.
I've been a fan of Auburn ever since I saw the 30 for 30 between them and Alabama. All right, Auburn's been the underdog team against Alabama. There's no debate against that, and I've loved it. You know, I've lived my life off of living vicariously through underdog teams. But
Correct.
the way you are describing Auburn right now, their talent is good on paper. The same way that the Cleveland Browns have had good talent up until the last 2 years have been good on paper. And the last time a talent was good on paper was the 2011 Philadelphia Eagles. So unless Auburn actually produces something this year, I don't see them getting into the college football playoffs, and I don't see them winning the national championship.
James, Auburn makes it. Auburn will win 10 games this year. Put us in the
They
playoffs.
win 10 games, but they're going to be in the OG6 Bowl, and it ain't going to be in the college football playoffs.
How do you figure it's a 12-team playoff? We go 10-2 in the SEC next year. We'll make it in. We'll make it in.
Okay.
But hold on.
New
Here's my question for you.
format is a fucking consolation prize because FSU got fucking snubbed, and on top of that, they were a bunch of crybabies that they had 30 players either opt out or transfer out, and we saw what happened.
Auburn's going to be elite in 2 to 3 years. Auburn will be elite in 2 to 3 years.
Right,
hold on.
I'll agree to that.
Kenny said
will
they're going
agree
to lose
to
2
that.
games next year, and they're going to beat Alabama and Georgia and lose 2 other games.
No.
Yes,
And I had people to.
I was
The
gonna
only
say, I
2 games
don't see anyone beating Georgia this year. Georgia is going on a revenge tour
with a new head coach.
Georgia is
with
going
the
on
team
revenge.
that they had and the
You're right. They're not gonna be
amount
that
of
good.
points that they dropped on Florida State. Georgia is going on revenge. Georgia is coming for blood next year.
Agreed. I think
But so
Georgia
let me
probably
ask
wins
you
the
this,
national
James.
championship next year.
James, let me ask you a question. And it's been confirmed, and it has been proven, and it has been all over college football dogs with a new head coach. Because Arthur's hung
He
the
keeps
20.
saying it's been
Hold on,
proven.
hold on, listen, let me talk. No.
Kirby Smart's gone. It's been
Listen.
proven.
Arthur's hung down $23 million check in front of Kirby Smart's face. He's not staying at Georgia. Georgia does not have the amount of money to compete with the
Kirby
NFL.
Smart,
So you're telling me that Georgia's going to be elite
hold on.
with a new head coach?
Let me go ahead and
You're
mute
full of
Kenny
shit.
here.
You're
listen,
full of shit for making the Dallas Cowboys prediction. Fuck out of here.
When
So
they make the
this
Super
guy-
Bowl, I'll be on no mercy, buddy.
So let
Make sure
me
you
ask
send me
you
the
a
invite.
question real quick. So NC State probably going to be scary next year. But let me ask you a question here. So Kenny's saying that Auburn's going to win 10 games next year. They're not. I hate to say that.
At best, they go 10-2. At worst, they go 9-3.
Correct.
So no.
Okay.
Okay.
Like so it's so funny because like we are not ready for Auburn. Auburn is not going to be in the top 12 next year. Kenny has bet us whatever we want to bet him that they win the national championship next year, right?
No. What I said, let me clarify me since you want to talk about this. This is what I said. Are you ready? 1, I said I will bet y'all anything that Auburn goes 10-2 next year. The only 2 games
All right, hold on.
suspect.
So I want
Let me finish. The only 2. You did me.
I was going to say, the only way Kirby Smart goes to a different school is the same day that Dallas wins the Super Bowl.
so here's the end of it. Here is what I wanted to say. So Kenny's like Kirby Smart's going to the Falcons because they're going to pay him X amount of money. But Kirby Smart right now has 2 national championships at his alma mater, correct?
In the last 3 years.
In the last 3 years, and should have went to the playoffs this year. I mean, it was definitely one of the 4. JD loves you, Kenny.
Kirby's going to the
so
Falcons.
we're saying
dog.
right now, so the money's going to get, but you're at your alma mater. You won 2 of the last 3 national championships and went 12-1 this year and had the largest bowl win in history. They're paying you $12 million a year at Georgia, and you have a 10-year contract. I just need somebody to explain to me why Kirby Smart would leave. Like what I mean, because it's the same money, $12 million a year, 10 years, $120 million. Why leave? Because he's a god in Athens right now. God.
No, he's a god in Georgia.
Okay,
He's
look,
a god in
unless
Georgia.
he gets the Jimbo Fisher, Bobby Bonilla treatment,
Right.
he's staying in Georgia.
Correct. Like it just but Kenny didn't tell you the rest of the story. So he goes to Atlanta this year. Nick Saban coaches one more year, retires, and then Kirby Smart takes over for Nick Saban. So what I'm trying to figure out is why Kirby Smart would leave his alma mater to go coach at Alabama when he's already a god there. That was my problem with Kenny's point. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Kenny, do you think Kirby Smart's dirty?
Okay.
I think Kirby Smart's what?
Dirty.
Dirty? No, I mean I like Kirby. I like Kirby because he stands up to Nick Saban. I don't like Nick Saban.
I love you too, JD. Let me know if you can come on, and you're always welcome.
Hey, be sure to subscribe to my channel, man. Shout out to military veterans.
Yes, No Mercy Sports.
Hey, Andrew, y'all for real. On a real note on this show, the rumors, it's out there, and it's proven fact. Arthur, the owner of the Falcons, has stated on a show that he has written a check to Kirby. It's up to Kirby to take. But I'm telling y'all, Kirby has nothing to prove in the college. He did everything he could do. Why? Hold on, let me finish.
No way.
Why not go to the next level and try to win a Super Bowl? If they give you control of the Falcons.
You know what else is on the rumors? The fact that Aaron Rodgers said that Jimmy Kimmel was on the list of Epstein.
Hey.
Yeah, he probably was. But wait, hold on. So you're telling me
he was.
I just want to see, Kenny. Hold on, I want to see because you made a statement. So the Falcons have a head coach under contract, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like he ain't a great one, but they got him. So why would the owner of the Falcons go on a TV show and be like, "Yeah, I've already offered all this money to Kirby"? Like
because he's getting fired at the end of the season.
Ain't no way.
Ain't
no way he would say that.
Is what it
he would be sued. He would be sued his ass off because they would have accused him of go ahead and plotting. That's against the rules in the NFL. You cannot do that. That's called tampering. So if he would have went on a show and be like, "I've already written Kirby Smart this check," then Arthur Smith just became a very rich man. Because he's going to get him, and he's going to win that. Because you remember with that Colin Kaepernick thing, they said that they conspired against him. He won all that money from the NFL. This is the same thing. They conspired against me. Like he turned my team against me.
Or even the Miami Dolphins trying to get Tom Brady.
Right.
There was something going on there too, and yeah.
I mean, will Atlanta offer Kirby Smart? Yes, they will because he's a god in Georgia. Kenny's correct about that.
Yes.
But why, Kenny? Here's what I'm asking. Money aside, because Georgia can match the Falcons as far as money paying. I promise you, that program's rich enough. What other reason? Prestige of winning in the NFL. Prestige of winning in the NFL. To me, prestige of winning in the NFL is on the same level as prestige of winning college football. It's just as hard. So, like, I don't understand.
Actually, I would have to argue with you here. I think it's harder to
32
win in the NFL.
versus 160 teams. What's your argument?
The NFL's harder. It's harder. Okay, so let me ask you this: you just said it's equal winning college and NFL. Then answer me this question: from 2007 to now, name me every quarterback that's been to the AFC Championship. Four. But it's easy to win in the NFL? No, you're full of shit.
So four quarterbacks. That kind of doesn't. Four
quarterbacks. Four teams have won the AFC Championship since 2007.
Tom Brady. Okay, now that we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the four quarterbacks are Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Patrick Mahomes. You know the fourth one?
Out of the AFC? Is it Liberty's quarterback? You don't know the name?
No, I'm asking you. Do you know? I know who it is. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, and who's the fourth one? Andrew?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow didn't win it, though. Yeah, he did.
He didn't win the AFC.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He's right. Four quarterbacks in over 15 years, but it's easy to win in NFL? Hell no.
Because the Patriots dominated the AFC for 20.
And then we'll just go ahead and throw fucking Alabama and Clemson and Georgia in there. Then since 2007, who's won all the national championships? Like that.
The SEC.
That don't make no sense. Your argument was weird. That was a weird argument on your point. But that supports my theory 100% that they're on even keel. Like the prestige is the same. I mean, if college football was so easy, somebody
You
named
funny, Emily.
Alabama,
I like
Georgia,
that one
or
though.
Clemson
I
wouldn't be
like that
winning
one.
them all.
I like that one. I like that
Correct?
one. I was reading your wife's comment. Sorry. Say what you
Oh,
said again.
yes, do not use steroids. That is terrible. Or
I'm
No,
sorry. Repeat what you
no,
said.
keep away from
Oh.
Mountain Dew because
Yes, stay
then
away
you're
from
a
Mountain
Monster
Dew.
Energy drink away from punching drywall.
You are punching drywall right in the head. Anyway, so I'm just not so sure that so Kenny is told us today that Auburn wins the national championship next year. Kenny has told us today that the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year.
When they do, I'm going on No Mercy.
So who wins the NBA championship?
The hell if I know with them, that shit's up in the air. I want the Celtics to win. That's what I want.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
that's your team. I want the Hawks to win, but who do you think's going to win?
Right now, you really want to be honest. The best two teams in the NBA is the Celtics and.
Thank you.
I was gonna say it's for me. It's between the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks are good, but you could throw a case for you could throw a case for Golden State. But
The NBA champion is coming out of the Eastern Conference, and it's not even close. Like, you can make a case for the Celtics, the Bucks, and the 76ers.
Sorry.
Hell,
Okay.
even the Miami Heat.
Yeah, the Heat's doing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Golden State doesn't even have a winning record.
Yeah, but they started out speedy
Draymond
before and
decided
come back
to
and
shoot
won
that
it.
team in the foot, so there's that.
So let me ask you this, Andrew: who wins men's basketball this year?
So I don't. So I want to take my time on the
Hell
NBA
no,
here.
GQ. I'm a Braves fan.
Braves, Yankees, also, but no. Anyway, I'm Braves.
Go Yankees.
So how in the world could we say that Golden State is one of the top tier teams in the NBA with the losing record? We can't even mention the defending national championship champions Denver Nuggets, because the Denver Nuggets are recovering right there, ready to pounce on people again. Because Joker is a beast. I think Denver and Milwaukee are the best teams there. Boston is right there behind them because like Boston is playing it's like Boston can't miss a shot right now, but that'll come back and get them later when they start getting some round defense on them, in my opinion. When it comes playoff time, Denver will clamp Boston. If they make it.
I was going to say, come playoff time, we're really going to see if Jaylen Brown deserved the contract that he got.
Correct. Oh, Jaylen Brown's a bad beast, but I mean they get clamped every year come playoff time.
Yep. Just as the Miami Heat, they clamped him.
Man, the Miami Heat should be better than they are, but
I'll agree with that.
Makes no sense. Miami Heat should be the top team in the East, like with what they have over there. But it's just like LSU women's basketball. You put two superstars together, and then one of them don't even show up to the fucking games anymore. That's what happens when you put prima donnas together. That's why the largest payroll in baseball history last year, the New York Mets, didn't even sniff the playoffs. Didn't even sniff it. Largest salary in the history of baseball. Couldn't even win.
No, the last time we saw prima donnas get together was James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant on the Brooklyn Nets, only for them to get swept in the first round, courtesy of the Boston Celtics, who had no business sweeping the Brooklyn Nets.
That is correct.
And that's what happens. And so when we talk about that, so LeBron James won with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, right? Because in that duo, in that trio right there, they were not prima donnas. Kyrie Irving was young and hungry. I mean, like Kevin, man, he's the ultimate just like team player. He's.
I was gonna say he was coming out of Minnesota, averaging 20 and 20.
Yes, usually dropping 40-40, Kevin Love.
Yes.
Awesome. But he's the ultimate team player. And then you had the greatest player in the game, LeBron James, and that's why it worked.
Second.
And then...
I'm not even going to comment.
No, I'm saying he's the greatest player at that time.
Okay,
that's
fair. That's
fair.
Okay.
I
saying he's
understand
number 2 on the greatest of all time.
Correct. He was number 2 at that time because Kobe had already retired. Jordan was gone. It's hard to argue that point. And then they
Of
beat that
active players, right?
right of active players. So
Okay.
that Golden State team was elite, but you know, and they worked together well, and they were able to win. But ever since then, every time LeBron James has put together a team, and we could say the COVID year mattered, but the Lakers don't win that championship without COVID year. And I'm not taking a title away from LeBron. Don't get me wrong, but the Lakers get steamrolled like we see every single year without the noise and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis gets too rattled by the noise,
Oh, yeah.
so
He's soft.
he is. He's always hurt. So, with that being said, I appreciate it, guys. I've had a good time. We'll wrap up, and I'll be on No Mercy Sports tomorrow. But
What time?
So it'll be 4:30 my time, so about 6:30 ish your time.
All right,
6:30
send me a
my
link and
time,
I'll watch.
5:30 Kenny's time.
Yeah.
Send me a link and I'll watch.
It'll be on Billings.
Okay.
So, Emily, final thoughts, and thank you for being here. And I really, really, really super duper love you.
I super love you too.
Is that your final thought? Because I'll take it.
That's fine with me.
Okay. Kenny, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is I'll be on No Mercy come around second week of February. Next year on January 13th or whatever it is in Atlanta. I'm hoping that James can be off so he can meet me in Atlanta. So we can do a combination show. Yeah. I'm gonna go drag Andrew
I don't know if I will be off, but come the second week in February, I guarantee you we ain't gonna see that star in the Super Bowl because that star isn't just a logo; it's been a rating since 1996.
Just saying, just to make sure you know, I'll be live on your show the second week of February, whenever it is. When actually, you know, we could really do it because you know they get that bye week for the Pro Bowl or whatever it is before the Super Bowl. We'll know then. So yeah, I'm just saying, you know, I'll be seeing you on No Mercy to discuss that.
That's right, GQ.
Fuck the Panthers. Granted, the Panthers do have one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL that come out of Auburn. Better yet, he is the best defensive lineman this year.
Yeah, they just need to get rid of the general manager, owner, David Tepper, whatever the hell his name is.
Oh shit! Offensive line, defensive line, linebacker.
No, you can't get rid of the whole defensive.
You've had your final thought. So, Kenny, before we go, I got a final thought question for you. How far does Auburn go in basketball this year?
Well, I'm saying Elite Eight forward.
Elite Eight forward. That's a bold statement. Cool. Auburn's a good team. I can't argue that point.
So let me ask you this. Since you want to ask me a question, I want to ask you one. How far do you have South Carolina going?
Men's or women's?
Men's. We know the women's is going to win it all.
The NIT.
That's given. I disagree with you. I think y'all make the dance this year, buddy. I think y'all get the dance.
I would love it, but
y'all win 20 games, you make the dance.
Hold on a second. I am not a homer like Kenny, where Auburn's going to win every championship in every sport. I'm a realist. I think we win 17, 18 games and go to the NIT, and y'all can get mad, but that's a fucking win for a program that won 11 games all of last year.
Yeah, that is true.
So I will take that all day. I want to go to the dance too, but you know what? Like I said, being a realist ain't gonna happen. James, final thoughts.
So final thoughts, like I said, I got Washington and MPJ winning the national championship in college football. As far as men's basketball goes, honestly, again, I'm not trying to sound biased. I have a little sister that goes to FAU. FAU's been looking great ever since their Final Four run last year. And man, oh man, they're on a run like I've never seen before. So it wouldn't surprise me not only if they make the dance, but I'd like to see the national championship in basketball go to South Beach.
Nice.
Go Owls. Hoot, hoot, baby.
So that was awesome. So now, here's what I got. the University of South Carolina Gamecock women's team is going to win it all. And I'm telling you, I want all the smoke from every team out there. If y'all got something to say, I'll be more than happy to listen to it. But you're not going to beat us. South Carolina men's basketball 12-1. Man, go Gamecocks. I love y'all. I predict y'all to go to the NIT, but prove me wrong. Lamont Paris is the man. National championship game. Michigan. I kind of broke it down earlier, and I mean it. They're better coached in my opinion. Top to bottom recruiting. Washington's full of mercenaries like Florida State was, and Michigan is built from the ground up, right? So when you really look at it, I just feel like Michigan's going to be a better team, and I don't think it's going to be close. I'm thinking 35-42-17. MPJ will get his roses early, but it will come crashing down on him as the game goes, and the coaching and the conditioning of the backups, because starters can't play all game long. Texas hasn't recruited long enough to beat them either, but Michigan has. Michigan, I've said it all year long. The receipts are in my shows. The receipts are on the page. Michigan's the best team in football. Plus, they have an advantage of sign stealing. Plus, they have Jim Harbaugh, who is a fantastic coach. I don't see any way Washington walks out of Houston with a win. MPJ is phenomenal. He can come to the Falcons anytime he wants. NFL, I got to tell you, if the NFL does not end up with San Francisco and Baltimore, we honestly were screwed, because we really need that Super Bowl. It will be one of the best Super Bowls that we have seen in probably 20 years. These are the best two teams, and I really want to see them go head to head. NBA, I want to say that the Bucks are going to win it all. The freak out there, but you just can't count out the Joker. The Nuggets, man, they're something else, and unless they're going to do another in-season tournament, you can go ahead and count out the Lakers too. So that's all I got with that. So before I get out of here, I want to say thanks to my wife, Emily, who's gone. The boy is probably going crazy. Kenny, thank you. We will see you next week as always. And before we go, James, one more plug for your show, and then we'll hit the bye-bye button.
Yeah, so you can catch me tomorrow afternoon on YouTube. It's only on YouTube because I have the free version of StreamYard. I'm working on getting the full version so I can go to all platforms. But you can catch me on YouTube _ No Mercy Sports 1 _ again for the live channel. I did have another channel where I did pre-recorded episodes, but ever since StreamYard, I've been doing live episodes. I brought people on, yourself included, and it's just been a fun, total blast. And I mean, there's nothing more to say. I mean, you're going live, you're talking sports. What more fun can you have,
Yes, y'all. I'm telling you, the show is a blast. I had a blast, him and his buddy, the last time I was there, man. I would tell you, that guy's laugh is so infectious. Like, he had me crying. Like, he was laughing so hard. He said he's gonna come on this show, so whenever he's ready. Like I said, my Facebook got hacked, so I don't have, in my college sports villains, like I can't even check the messages. So tell him to send you a message or friend me on Facebook on my new little weird one, and make sure that we have him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I will be there tomorrow. Thank you, James. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny will be here every week. James is welcome every week. And after the national championship game, we'll talk about one more time, and then we're going to move heavily into basketball and pro sports.
Okay.
Everybody, thank you for watching College Sports Villains, part of the Dog Media Network.
college football